as you can see, Kotoha's is finally... Kotoha's is the last painting. Before we get back into the common route, or whatever the fuck the guide told me. Thank you for the stretch. And the hydrate. Let's go. Chapter 10, Part 1, News. Kotoha.
コトハさん一番なさそうなのに。
We don't know that for sure. There's clearly more than meets the eye about her. Yeah, we've already seen that.
本当はシュウが美人さんと近づきたいだけじゃないの？
What? Absolutely not. Perish the thought.
声が裏返ってるんですけど。
Jokes aside. Jokes aside, Kotoha seems like the type of person who'd be a great ally. It definitely won't hurt to get to know her better.
なるほどね。確かにコトハさんならいい知恵をくれるかも。わかった。それじゃあ今度の週はコトハさんに密着捜査。いってらっしゃい。
Oh, perfect. Yune begins meditating in preparation for shooting me back through time like an arrow from her bow. And as always, I go flying back to December 2nd. We can just skip December 2nd, right? You don't need to keep showing December 2nd and then commenting on the fact that you made the save point on the night of December 2nd, so they always transition to December 3rd. Shut up. What did I just say? I open my eyes and sit up. I squint against the very bright and equally familiar December 3rd morning sunlight. Okay, my target this time around is... Kotoha. Perhaps she'll be the one who can help me turn the tides of fate. If she ends up being the culprit behind the Christmas bombings. Unlikely, but who is able to retain her memories from each previous timeline like I can, then I'll do whatever I can to stop her. Who knows? She might have ties to it, but I don't think she's the one causing the bombings. Easier said than done, of course.
どうしたの、シュウ君?
It's nothing. If I'm being honest, Kotoha seems like the least likely candidate as the person behind all of this. I mean, she's Kotoha. Okay, do you know Kotoha? You've seen, like, the shallow version of her. You haven't gone in depth enough. Her sentimentality and circumstances, not to mention the impression I get from her, suggest someone who wouldn't hope for the end of the world. I know we should go into this with any preconceived notions, but I'm not a detective either. Still, if I had to say anything about her, it's that she's incredibly intelligent. She's not someone who... she's not someone you want as an enemy. She also knows too much. She knows more than she should. She'd be a helpful ally, assuming I can prove she's not working against me. Which is what I intend to do.
それで、用というのは何かな？スケッチ？スケベ？
Actually, I had a nightmare last night.
ブー、シュウ君に無視された。
But now I decide to focus on reconnaissance. Like during my second time loop. I'm not too worried on whether she's the culprit or not.
なるほど。 それなら美術回廊に防火対策がされていると聞いたね。
Is it normal for them to lock up the gallery at the night of the culture festival?
美術回廊が閉まることはないはずだけど。
What? You didn't ask if the art gallery was fireproof. Before December 3rd. Right? He talked about it in a different time. Are you telling me that he mentioned it and but it's off screen, right? Oh, really?
指紋もいるっぽいな。これじゃさすがにあかね。
くそ、せっかくユネが声を通してくれたのに。
That's even further proof that there's something weird going on here. Now the door to the art gallery which is always kept open, would suddenly be locked. Means it was deliberately locked on that night specifically. So you're saying the art gallery never closes? It's open 24/7 year round?
3月31日から4月の3日までは毎年閉まってるよ。メンテナンスとかで。
In March, huh?
閉まってる間は先生たちじゃないと開けられなかったはずだ。
I assumed as much. I knew that at least. I've run into that restriction myself. At the worst time, yeah. Without the correct biometrics, the door won't budge. Thanks a lot. That's very helpful.
お役に立てたなら。それにしても変なことを聞くね、シュウ君は。
The day ends without learning anything I didn't know before. Or 12. It's Tuesday, innit? The first snowfall in gym class. Usually I'm hanging out with Sakuya inside her igloo. The best moments. But I need to get close to Kotoha this time. Sadly, I have to turn down Sakuya's invitation. That was the plan, at least. Where is she? It looks like I don't have to turn down Sakuya's invitation after all, which should theoretically be a good thing.
何ですか?
It's nothing. Sorry. I suddenly realized I've been watching Sakuya for quite a while. I was just wondering what you were doing.
寂しいんですか、先輩。誘ってほしいんですか?
Yes, I mean, yes. I'm not lonely. I don't need your pity invitation to hang out.
そうですよね。先輩は孤独でお相手もいないんですから。
Don't make fun of your elders.
ほんと、一人でも平気で。
Sakuya?
何でもありません。では。
Don't try to guilt trip his shoe. With that, she heads off. At any rate, it looks like Sakuya is not building her igloo in this timeline. Whatever. I have to focus on getting closer with Kotoha this time. Where could she be?
何かな?
What are you doing?
向こうで雪だるまでも作ろうかなって。
The gym class, huh?
一応体は動かすし
She's being a little evasive. Can I help?
もちろん、シュウくんがいてくれると助かるよ。
So, so with her having graciously accepted my offer, gasp wheeze, gasp wheeze. This is far more intense than I thought.
まさか、こんなに大きく育つとは。すごいよ、シュウくん。
Listen, if it's not as big as the one in Sugar Sweet Temptation, I don't want anything to do with it. I managed to roll up a jumbo-sized snowman that's taller than Kotaha. I've clearly put way too much effort into my creation, having spent a few hours on it. I guess that's good enough for now.
ありがとう。それじゃあ、私がこの子におめかしをさせようかな。
And so, together, we paint a face onto the snowman I built and add gloves.
じゃじゃーん。こんなものかな。
Fabulous. Instead of some eccentric getup, she's become a lovely snow lady.
ほう、これはなかなかのサイズだな。
What do you mean by that? Hey, Guido.
俺の作ったゴーレムと戦わせてみないか。
That seems unlikely, considering they can't move.
先に溶けた方が負けというルールなら。
乗った。
The way they talk is slightly bizarre. Despite being top students and heads of their respective dorms, their conversations are always amusingly childish. That's just the mindset of a third year. What? I wonder how they view each other. For some reason, the question interests me immensely. I guess we'll never find out which melts first. It's Wednesday morning, and I'm witnessing a scene involving two familiar figures.
まだ眠いや。このまま寝ちゃうかも。
Now the real question is, have I used this CG as a thumbnail before? It's probably best for me to check, because if I haven't, then I know what I will. Then I know what to use as the thumbnail for this VOD. I haven't, but I've used it for the thumbnail of the main channel video of another main channel video.
ダメだっつの。寮長が遅刻しちゃしめじがつかねえだろ。
Haha. They're as close as ever, almost like real sisters. There's a side to Kotaha that only Kirie gets to see. It's not often I get to see her at her most vulnerable. Speaking of which, I wonder how long they've been friends. I feel like I asked before. As luck would have it, I haven't yet asked them this time, so I proceed to do so.
私とキリエが知り合ったのはいつってこと？
Yes, at the school.
へんよ。コトネートはチックからだ。
So you've known each other for a while.
当たり前よ。私とコトネーの深い絆はもう何年も前から。キリエの性格も変わってないよね。大人になってからな、私も。大きくなってんだぞ。胸とか態度とか。
Mostly the latter. So you've known her longer than you, ne?
んだな。私とコトネーはずっと一緒だけど、ユネとはチベッタ時代に初めて会った。アレイヤに入って知り合ったのは、サクヤとギドと、 あとリンカパイセンだな。
Rinka doesn't count, she doesn't exist. I had no idea. I thought you knew Sakia from way back. From way back.
昨夜は同じチベッタにいたんだけどね。私たちは学年が違うから遊ぶこともなかった。衣装を作れるって聞いた時は感激したもんだぜ。
It's obvious that Kotaha is closer to Kyrie than anyone else. Anyone else in our friend group. They're best friends despite the age difference. Or so it seems. Everyone has a past. It might sound obvious, but to see it so evident between the two of them makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Later that night. Where is she? I gently bop my nearby dove clock to check the time.
クック。ただいま12月5日水曜日22時11分。
I guess... Is this the day Sakuya comes and gives him the pillow? I guess that's not gonna happen this time. She should be here. It's been a week since I first arrived. Yet, it's past curfew, which is around when Sakuya usually stops by for a visit. It seems like the timeline is out of order. It's not like we made plans or anything. It's just that, up until now, he's always come to see me on this day, at this exact time. Yeah, but the difference is that, yeah, exactly. Except this time I didn't spend time with her in the igloo. I also never met up with her after school. As usual, the smallest of changes in my routine creates waves all around me. Besides, my target this time is Kotaha. Even so, I can't help feeling sad about the unseen distance between us. So I'm sad. I want to be with Sakuya, alright? But I have to go through everyone else's route to get to her.
Yeah, シュウ君。最近はよく来るね。
You know how it is. From the start, I wanted to try and dig up any dirt I could find on Kotaha. And as I might have suspected, there was nothing shady or suspicious about her. In fact, my perception of her is as a truly good person only grew stronger with each passing day. What a scene. Wow, the information you got from that one, astounding. I couldn't find any dirt on her. Crazy, I know. It's December 7th, the day when Kyrie's operation You've Been Punked goes into motion. However, since I miss most of her pranks, it ends up in failure. I'm sorry, Kyrie. I don't know why they've rehashed that. They could have just skipped it. If nothing evident was going to happen. The weekend. Usually it's a day I can spend however I want. This time I need to keep an eye on Kotaha. Now that I think about it, I wonder what she's doing today. More than anything, I'm honestly curious. She usually spends her time after school drawing in the atelier.
琴音ならいつものとこだぞ。
You mean the 7th atelier?
ああ、なんか用なのか？
Oh, nothing in particular. Thanks. I had a hunch she'd be there. That she's drawing on her day off shows how diligently she takes her studies.
琴音に聞いたんだけど、なんかシュウが手伝ってるんだって？
I'm not gonna gulp. Crap.
褒めてやろうと思ったのに、なんか挙動不審だな。
D- don't know what you're talking about. There's absolutely no funny business going on.
でも、琴姉があのアタリエに誰か呼ぶのってめったにないからな。
Oh yeah? To be fair, no matter when I go, I've only ever seen Kotoha in the atelier after school.
どんな手伝いしてんだ？ただ絵描くだけなら、琴姉も別に一人で十分だと思うんだけど。
I know, right? It's a premium service that only I can provide.
なるほど。だがシュウ、私にもシュウにしか頼めないプレミアムな仕事が。
Wow. Do the time, gotta run.
おい待て！
Sorry, Kyrie. I won't be able to star as your lead actor this time. Yeah, but it's so you can spend time with Kotoha. Knock knock.
いらっしゃいシュウくん。今日はお休みだけど。
I came to watch you hard at work.
課題か何かかな。
Actually, yeah. Sorry for dumping this on you.
いいよ。もともとアトリエは生徒みんなのものだし。
She says with a friendly smile. She's older, the head of the dorm, and so stunningly gorgeous. And yet there's something about her that puts me strangely at ease. The thought crosses my mind how being alone with her here should be far more nerve-wracking than it actually is. You come here even on your days off, huh? Huh.
ここ最近、休みの日はいつも制作の絵を進めててね。たまには外にも出るんだけど。
Your art? For the culture festival? I've been to the culture festival several times by now, and seen your festival piece. However, the me in this reality has not, so I feign ignorance. By the way, what kind of painting is it?
不敬な絵だよ。
Her answer is the same as always, naturally. No matter how many time loops I relive, the only art piece that ever changed thus far was Kyrie's.
外の風景があまりいいものではないんだろうけどね。
She has to paint from her own imagination. In a town where simply thinking about the outside world is prohibited, it's no exaggeration to call an outright depiction of it blasphemous. I'm sure nothing like it has ever been attempted in the Academy's history, and there's no way Sister Lily approves. However, her theme can apparently only be expressed in this way.
まだ見ぬ世界へ思いを馳せること。それ自体、貴重なアイデアの源なんだ。シュウくんが来てくれたことで、ちゃんと描こうって決心もついたしね。
Huh? Why me? Because you're the main character, what did you expect?
もちろん。外からシュウくんが来てくれたおかげで、なんとなく方向性が見えたんだ。
That is the first time hearing of it.
今までの私は、外には人間がいるのかいないのかもわからなかった。けど、今は一つだけわかる。外には、シュウくんのような人間が住んでいたんだって。
You're probably right. It seems like in her head, I represent the outside world itself.
ごめんね、勝手に。私もシュウくんからインスピレーションを受けた人間の一人なんだよ。
It's fine. I'm delighted. I I have no clue how helpful I actually am, though. But while we're on the subject, can I see what you're working on? I'm useless when it comes to technical ability, but I could give you some outsider advice. Unfortunately, due to my memory loss, I won't be able to give great advice, but I can at least tell you if it seems familiar.
私の描く外の風景を見て正しいかどうか判断してくれるということ？
Yes, exactly. That seems like something I should easily be able to assist with. It seems like a natural enough reaction to want to help her if she needs me in any way.
ありがとう。正直すごく助かるよ。私も細部を描くのが大変だったから。
What I lack in technical know-how, I make up for with a level-headed approach to the subject matter. If I'm being honest, I'm still not quite used to the town's taboo regarding the outside world. Unable to discern what separates blasphemy from piety, I feel like I could give my frank opinion on the subject.
じゃあ今ついでにいろいろ聞いてもいいかな。外の世界って。
Yeah, but who is Frank? Never mind. Sure, I'll answer those as best as I can. With nothing to rely on aside from my faint and fragmented memories, I helped Kotoha with her painting.
いろいろありがとう。おかげでよくわかったよ。
There's so much I don't remember, but it's true. Electronics are definitely far more advanced on the outside. Most of it is, yes. Kotoha based on her version of the outside world on the many paintings found within the halls of the art gallery. While her landscape definitely looks like the outside, there's something off about it. Even taking into consideration, it shows the world as it was 100 years back. Kotoha had a great many question marks floating through her mind. More than I expected, though. I'm not sure how many related to her painting. If Sister Lily had stumbled in on us, we would have been in hot water. But since it was just the two of us, there was no issue. Just the two of us. Yes, that... okay. Just don't elaborate on it any further. It's gym class. We're playing Kick the Can, like always, and I've managed to avoid being it. Suddenly. There it is. It's Muse, a new type of drug soaked into blotters. I always find it on the ground in the courtyard, which means someone most likely must drop it every time. But
ついてきて。ここじゃ話しづらい。
I feel like something's been messed up here. After picking it up, I bring it over to show Kotoha.
ついてきて。ここじゃ話しづらい。
I knew there was an issue when the music kept playing between transitions, but I didn't think it would overlap with another song.
ごめんね。シュウ君がせっかく発見してくれたものだけど、これは危ないから処分しておく。
Okay, it's fixed. It's fine. I understand. Just like in the original timeline, we head to Oneto to dispose of it. Kotoha once again drops the blood soaked with Muse into the lake, where it instantly dissolves. This might be one of the only times when she seems this serious. That is why I wanted to come here. Mainly because there's something I need to ask her.
強烈なインスピレーション。それは私たちが願ってやまない禁断の果実だ。思うような作品が生めない。そもそもアイディアさえ降りてこない。こうなるともう偶然のひらめきを願って神に祈るしかない。あの新型ドラッグはそんなインスピレーションを約束してくれるもの。ミューズ。そう呼ばれている。
What? I never knew that. Kotoha begins telling me all about the drug. This is the first time I've ever heard about Muse. The drug, not the band. And how worst case scenario, if someone is caught using the drug, they're erased. What?
消されるというのも比喩ではない。ある日から突然行方不明になる。
I've heard that Bad Santa is behind the disappearances.
そう。都合のいい現象に例えているわけだ。タブーを知った存在。そんな人間を排除する仕組みがきっとこの街のどこかにある。
Yeah, and Kotoha, you should be one of those people. You know things that you definitely shouldn't. I can easily piece together what she's trying to say. That an organization exists in town that erases folks under the guise of Bad Santa. I know this because...
消えたあの人は私よりちゃんとしてたけど、外についてすげえ興味を持ってた。そのせいで不良扱いだよ。
I thought they were gonna flash back to the sewers of Kyrie's route.
だから黒サンタが来たんならきっとタブーを踏んだんだって琴姉が言ってた。
Because I know all about, I know one of the kids who was erased. Kyrie already told me as much, fucking Rinka. That's why they hate it, while simultaneously trying to understand it. They need to shed light on the darkness of it. Kotoha mentions the same girl Kyrie did.
禁断の果実に手を出せばリンカのように消されてしまうかもしれないんだ。
But what if Rinka's behind all of the disappearances? Rinka, a close friend of both Kyrie and Kotoha, who I only knew about through Kyrie's films. She'd been a regular at Jack's store, and the only person who could take Guido on at chess.
ごめん、長話になってしまったね。そろそろ戻ろうか。
This is when I usually agree to head back, feeling like I've intruded on the inner sanctum, But I want to ask something else first. Are you sure Rinka disappeared because of her involvement with Muse?
ミューズのせいと一概には言えないかな。ただそれが最後のきっかけになったのは事実だ。ミューズに手を出した生徒は他にもいる。だが謹慎処分で済んでいる子がほとんどだ。ミューズは確かにインスピレーションをもたらす薬のようだけど、それでタブーを知れるわけじゃない。リンカはもともとそれこそ不敬極まりないくらい外について興味津々な子だった。その不良っぷりにとどめを刺したのがミューズというドラッグ。
I see. I saw it as a drug you take to understand the outside world, but apparently it's not that simple. When did she go missing?
去 去年のクリスマス。
Christmas. Oh my god. It sounds like a tragedy almost certainly related to the one happening this year.
凛花は去年の12月25日を境にいなくなった。これは誰もが知る客観的な事実。
Apparently there's more to it than that though.
彼女はその当日に自らミューズを服用していた。これは私しか知らないから言ってはダメだよ。
Why did you do it? I pressed the issue to learn more, but I'm suddenly met with a question I wasn't expecting.
ミューズのことが気になる？シュウ君。
No. Well. Huh? Well, yes. She turns her usual soft smile on me. But by all appearances, she is her usual warm, kind-hearted self, and yet...
私は今、私だけが知っていることをペラペラとシュウ君に話した。不思議だとは思わなかった？
Well, a little. Honestly, I hoped she might be able to fill in some gaps in my knowledge. Did I make a grave mistake? I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
ああ、ごめんね。別にシュウ君を疑っているとかではなく。ただ、私にも整理がついていないんだ。どこまで話してよいものか。
She seems unusually worried. The way she's acting is... it doesn't seem like she's lying about how she feels.
ミューズを服用すれば女神からのインスピレーションが得られるというのは言ったよね。
You did?
けれどそれは実際に体感した人でないとわからない。実際はそうじゃないかもしれない。
Only users can possess understanding, which includes Rinka herself.
私はミューズを摂取した凛花を見た。その上で言えばミューズの効能は定かじゃないけど副作用はてきめんに現れていた。
What kind of side effect? I'm slightly confused why she's suddenly talking about this. However, my confusion is short-lived, as she hesitates. Kotoha? I can't tell if she's unsure or making up her mind. Either way, after a short pause, she reaches into her front shirt pocket and takes something out. The fuck? A clumsy sketch of an owl belly peeks out at me. The paper I'd given her should have melted into the lake by now. However, the object she pulled from her shirt pocket is unmistakably the same vibrantly colored blotter.
ミューズの副作用はね、シュウ君。
A warrior lion mars her dignified brow.
記憶喪失。
Damn, that's crazy. Ah, I see. Isn't that interesting? Okay. So... Huh. Okay. I still don't have enough fucking puzzle pieces, man. Her words shake me to my very core. Chapter 10, Part 2, Metaphysical Art of Evanescent Dreams. Of Evanescence Dream. Wake me up. It's later that night, and I'm lying awake in bed thinking about what happened. Okay, I mean, obviously, Chu's memory loss is going to be related to Muse. Like, why would you bring up the side effect of memory loss and not have it relate back to Shu? That's, you know, so either he took it, or it was he was forcibly he was forced to take it or something like that, right? Because he's an outsider and he doesn't and someone doesn't want people knowing about the outside world. So you force him to take Muse so that he forgets everything about the outside world, something like that. But then how would that relate to the flashbacks we keep seeing where Shu is apparently a teacher?
Kotoba 通りの意味だよ、シュウ君。ミューズを服用したリンカは、それまでの記憶を失っていた。
The drug Muse gives people amnesia. Rinka forgot everything. In that moment, it's as if this drug that seemed so foreign to me was coursing through my veins. Maybe quite literally. To simply not know anything seems terrifying to me. Even after all of this, my own loss of memory is still just as frightening.
最初にこの紙を見て、何も思わなかった？
Well, when I first picked it up, I remember feeling like it looked kind of familiar, like I saw it somewhere before. But first, I mean, the very familiar timeline. I mean, in the very first timeline. By first, I mean in the very first timeline. I remember feeling slightly uneasy as soon as I spotted the picture of that owl. At the time, I figured it didn't mean anything, but now...
私も何が正しくて何が間違っているのかわからない。ただ、過去の事実を言っただけだ。シュウ君に関係があるのかないのかもわからないけど、都合がいいのはどちらかな。
It's clear she considers the time she spent with Rinka on her final day classified info. She probably only mentioned it because she thought it might be connected to my amnesia. Lately, all I worry about is making sure we can make it through Christmas. My lost memories. I remind myself how important it is that I retrieve them. Perhaps they hold the answers to all of my problems, which only brings me back around to why I forgot in the first place. Is it possible that I dropped Muse? I have no idea. Even if I did, I wouldn't remember. A drug that offers inspiration that transcends what normal minds can think up. Which means, is it possible that by taking the drug it caused my consciousness to leap outside of the aurora? Maybe. In that case, it's possible that I was born here. This is driving me nuts thinking about it. I mean, it would line up with... Look, here's the thing, right? Shu is meant to be a second-year high schooler at St. Aria. But at the same time, the students call him sensei. The four girls keep calling him sensei in the flashbacks, right? So like, that is the most confusing part to me. And I definitely am missing something. And I don't think Muse is the puzzle piece I'm missing.
その通り。オーロラを超えるということは、いわば世界を超えるということ。異世界のメモリーが引き継げないくらいのことはあるかもしれません。
I think back to something Sister Lily told me the first time we met. According to her, I lost my memories just by crossing the aurora. If she's right, then Muse would have nothing to do with it. I'm getting nowhere. Recovering my lost memories would be harder than finding our mysterious culprit, or so I thought. $12.12. Oh, never mind. $12.13. It's after school, and I find myself once again with Kotoha in the atelier while she works. Her imaginary painting of the outside world, which while obviously fantastical, there is an air to her landscape that gives it a sense of realism.
どうかな、シュウ君。ピンとくる？
Vaguely, it seems pretty close to the image I've got in my head. I've got of it in my head. Naturally, there are no clues to what the outside world looks like here in town, aside from the paintings of foreign landscapes in the art gallery. Since her goal is to depict the outside world as it is now, though it makes sense she would seek out my expertise on the matter, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I want to help, but I can't say for sure if it's right or not.
仕方ないよ。覚えてないのに無理やり聞いたりして、こっちこそごめんね。
My memory loss is once again holding me back. What does the outside world look like? I can only judge whether her painting is accurate or not by critiquing her work.
それに、こんな光景があるのかもと想像することは楽しいよ。だから今回の制作をしてる。まあ、楽しいなんて言ってたらリリーさんに叱られちゃうけどね。
Kotaha. On hunch, I toss a question at her. Do you want to go out into the outside world? My question directly broaches the town's most taboo subject. She hesitates for a moment before answering.
行きたくないと言えば嘘になる。ただ、強烈にここを出たいとも思っていない。私が今回こんな絵を描くことにしたのはね、少しでも凛花に近づくためなんだ。
What do you mean? Rinka again, I think to myself. I've come to understand how dear this girl is to Kotaha, even after she vanished from her life last year.
凛花はタブーを踏んですぐに消えた。けど、彼女の何が悪かったというのかはわからない。
She took drugs.
私はただ、凛花の件をこのままにはしておけないんだ。真実を探る必要がある。
Her conviction on the matter is unwavering. Whereabouts of her missing friend, and the truth behind the legend of Bad Santa. I have a feeling the weird vibes I get from the town and Rinka's disappearance are related. She meant a lot to you, huh?
すごくね。親友だった。だから、とても端的に言ってしまえば、今も彼女を探しているんだ。まだ何もできていないけど。
And that's why you're painting the outside world.
うん。 私も凛花を見習って不敬な真似をすれば黒サンタとやらも現れるんじゃないかと思って。でもシュウ君という人が現れちゃったからもうインパクトは薄いよね。
You need to take Muse, you know. Just like Rinka. If that's the case, Bad Santa might end up coming for me too.
その時はひっ捕らえてぐるぐる巻きにして私の元へ持ってきて。
I'll see what I can do. Kotoha is kind of scary sometimes. What was Rinka like? Rinka was a third-year student who was close to Kotoha and best friends with... close to Kirie and best friends with Kotoha. I also knew she was athletic thanks to one of the films she starred in. That's the extent of my knowledge.
一言で表すなら天才だった。
Really? Surprised by her word choice. I don't know what to say. Like in relation to art or something?
それもあるしそうでない部分も。凛花はいろいろと規格外な子だったんだ。イメージで言えばキリエに近いかもしれない。真面目なキリエ。
Serious Kyrie. It's hard for me to imagine, since it's not a word I'd ever associate with Kyrie. Did she excel in her studies like you? When I hear the word genius, that's all my simplistic mind can conjure up. Of course, in this town, excelling at school, equates to artistic finesse.
いや成績で言えば私の方が良かったよ。ただそれはあくまで私がお行儀のいい絵を描いていただけだ。凛花のような既存の枠組みを壊す作品は未だに作れていない。あれを芸術と呼ぶかどうかはわからないけどね。
What was her major?
私と同じ油彩画だったんだけど、そのうちいろんなものに手を出し始めてね。そのうち彼女の絵はキャンバスさえ飛び越えるようになった。
What do you mean? Like fucking murals and stuff?
そのままの意味。凛花の絵はキャンバスの裏にも続いていたし、キャンバスに付録をつけたり、そもそもキャンバスを破くことさえあった。
Ah, alright.
凛花がすごいのはそれを失敗と捉えず新たなアートの形として発表しようとしたことだ。
Is it possible to have art on a ripped canvas?
なしだね。
What?
少なくとも先生方の目には論外に映った。こんなの絵じゃないって。
Yeah, well, that's because they're stuck in their ways, alright? Art is not purely, art on a I don't know what I'm saying. Art is not purely determined by what... No, never mind.
けれど私はあんなに柔軟な発想ができる凛花を素晴らしく思ったし、他にも感銘を受けた人はいる。
What she calls genius, I think of being gifted. I think of as being gifted. I would say someone with an excellent and artistic sense as Kotoha is a genius, while the folks in town probably view her as gifted. Meanwhile, Rinka is the type of prodigy that creates avant-garde work immeasurable by society's standards.
義堂なんかは私と同じように凛花の作品に惹かれていた。反対にユネやキリエは全然わからないと言っていた。
I'm probably on their side with this one.
だと思う。なんというかあれは 一般的な作品に飽きると魅力的に思えるのかも。
I'm growing increasingly curious about her work. I always thought of Guido's work as being exceptionally unique, but it sounds as if Rinka's was far beyond even his eccentricity.
一度ちゃんとした私みたいにお行儀のいい絵を描いていたこともあったけど、本人的にはしっくりこなかったみたい。せっかくだから、まあ簡単に言えば変わってる子だったの。
God fucking damn it.
一度ちゃんとした私みたいにお行儀のいい絵を描いていたこともあったけど、本人的にはしっくりこなかったみたい。せっかく賞も狙える出来だったのに。それに先生たちからの評判も良くないから、不良少女みたいな。
And that's why they wanted to get rid of her. So basically, Kyrie's serious twin. I had no idea she was like that. I thought the character she portrayed in Kyrie's films was just that, a fictionalized role.
オーロラを飛び越えようとしたり、先生の聖書をかっぱらってきたり、授業なのに人と全然違うことやってたり。
That does kind of paint her as a troublemaker.
好奇心旺盛なところなんかはむしろキリエ以上かな。キリエは凝り性だから一つのことにこだわるけど、凛花はそうじゃない。あとは自分で料理をしたりそんなの誰もやってないのにね。とにかく凛花は人と違ったことをよくやるんだ。
She was definitely a weirdo, nothing like the perfect student Kotoha. So basically, you're a troublemaker if you go against the grain, and a genius if you don't.
凛花は他にも誰も気にしないようなことをいちいち気に留めた。どうしてオーロラなんてものがあるのか、どうして勉強には美術しかないのか、この街はどこにあって外はどうなっているのか。
Those questions.
誰かさんがここに来て抱いた疑問に似てるでしょ。
All the questions Kotoha mentioned were things I've wondered about since arriving here. Yet, it seemed as if I was the only person in town who was even a little curious.
凛花もね、よく言ってた。この街はどこかおかしいって。
Something strange. She was born here, yet held similar views to an outsider like me. I technically haven't been here very long, but even I understand how amazing that is.
だから凛花は天才なんだ。誰もが当たり前と思っていることを疑う能力、それは彼女にしかないものだった。
I had no idea she was like that. The word genius conjures up images of someone who creates amazing works of art. But that's not what she meant. Rika's genius lay in her ability to to question conventional wisdom.
凛花はいなくなったけど、凛花と同じ疑問を持つ人はまた現れた。
You mean me, right?
そう。もうすぐで凛花がいなくなって1年が経つけど、なんだか面白い運命だよね。
Who is Rinka? Mind blown. I'm fascinated by Rinka's story, whose disposition was so different from everyone around her. I wish so badly I could meet her.
だから私は人とは違うシュウ君が好きだよ。羨ましいって思う。
Wait, love?
私もキリエも凛花と再会するのを諦めていない。どこかに生きてるって信じてる。
Rinka messed with something she shouldn't have, and disappeared because of it.
私の見立てではそう、知っちゃいけないことを知った。そしていなくなった彼女は黒サンタの仕業として処理された。メルヘンな要素で真相を隠すみたいに。
So you think Rinka knew the truth about something?
だろうね。都合が悪いから口封じをされたんだと思ってるよ。何を知ったのかは本人にしかわからないけど。
Kotaha gazes into the distance, as if lost in thought.
それこそ私もミューズを使ってみないことには。
Bad idea. We'll be screwed if you end up losing your memories too.
冗談だよ。私もシュウ君のことを忘れたくないしね。
Hearing her say that out of the blue makes my heart skip a beat.
ミューズについての話はこの前したよね。シュウ君にやっぱり覚えはない？
I can't say one way or the other. My memory is still pretty hazy.
そっか。何か手がかりになればよかったんだけど。
Myself, my memories, and Rinka. All three seem connected in some way to the drug. Some way to the drug Muse, although I'm still not sure how.
ごめんね。なんだかシュウ君と話しているのも私のエゴみたいで。
This is more like an alliance of sorts. A mystery we should figure out together. Rinka mysteriously vanished last year on Christmas. And there's a chance her disappearance is connected to this year's Christmas tragedy. Wait, if it's true, then does that mean... Will Bad Santa come for someone else this year? Sure. 14. Yep. It's after school. I'm on the way to the 7th Atelier like always, only to find Kotaha missing from her usual spot. After a brief search in the nearby vicinity. Aha! There she is. I approach who I think is Kotaha, only to find myself facing an unexpected creature. What? So that's what he meant by unexpected creature. The creature in the middle of the park is none other than Koto-Zilla. Then the Koto-Zilla I saw on the big screen once.
変なところを見られたね。
Decked out in a cheap-looking onesie, she laughs awkwardly. Are you in the middle of a shoot?
そう、これは大怪獣コトゴンの着ぐるみ。
Having watched the finished product, I know Koto-Zilla is a monster villain from Kyrie's movie Koto Ranger Beauty Squad, where the heroes are also played by Kotaha, and the civilians are also played by Kotaha. Seems like a tough job.
まあね。でも楽しいよ。キリエはいつも変な設定を考えるから。
You always help help her out because you love her movies, don't you?
私は女優キリエの大ファンだからね。
I can't help but notice that she specifically mentioned her acting, not her directing.
でもキリエが本気なのはシュウ君にも伝わってるでしょ。
Sure. Well, yes.
キリエは映画のこととなったら手を抜かないし、自分のお小遣いだってほとんどつぎ込んじゃうから。
But the real question is, where'd the costume come from? Are you telling me Takuya made it?
映画家の人たちが協力してくれるのもやっぱりキリエの人望なんじゃないかなって思うよ。
Her films are her life. The joyous way Kotoha talks about Kyrie makes me kind of jealous.
はーい、ことね。準備できたか？今行く。
Kyrie, the director, who had stepped out somewhere, has now returned. Should I leave?
ごめんね、シュウ君。そういうわけだから。
Of course, no problem. I'll head on back.
なんだ、シュウもいるのか。
Sorry, I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Just killing time. Just stalking Kotoha.
別に出てくれてもいいんだぜ。と言いたいけど。次の作品はもうキャストが決まってるからな。
They're all Kotoha, right?
なぜ知っている？
Because I saw the finished film.
よし、コトゴン、こいつを追っ払え。ガオーガオー。
No, you cannot do this, man. Oh no. She's precious.
ガオー。何かな、その顔は。
It's not... Sorry. I couldn't help but grin in response. Seeing the cool Kotoha wearing such a hokey monster costume is too bizarre.
早く行かないと食べちゃうぞ。ガオー。
Sounds good to me. Wait, what?
おい、ことね。こいつビビってんのか？そんなこともなさそうだけど。シュウ君？
It doesn't like he is. I'm leaving right now. I was on the verge of slipping into another weird daydream. Quickly dashing my increasingly dirty thoughts, I leave the two girls to their shoot. Her professionalism is impressive. I truly admire how committed Kotoha is to both her own art and Kirie's films. That was a good day. 12:15. It's Saturday. No, it's actually Wednesday. Oh shit, Kotoha's got some new trip. As Kotoha continues devoting even her days off to her art piece, I stay by her side, providing my outside opinion.
この建物はどうだろう。こんな感じかな。
Looks right, although it could use a couple more windows. The landscape in her painting changes bit by bit, according to my vague memories. Because of that, her latest version looks completely different from how it did at the start.
ありがとう。また少し良くなったよ。
Happy to help. I've helped her out so many times by this point, and yet a part of me worries if I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm doing this in hopes of being able to change our fate, but I don't know. I mean, let's be honest. It doesn't... You're not going to be able to change her fate. Well, we don't know because we don't actually see the endings of these fucking routes. The only thing I've learned from constantly being by Kotoha's side is how incredibly pervy she really is. My type of girl. What? And of course, everything I learned about Muse and Rinka. Kotoha doesn't have a single shady bone in her body, just as we thought. Yeah, but she could be hiding it really well, you just don't know.
シュウ君
Yeah? Yes?
外に出よっか
Sure. Wait, what? Outside? I don't do that. Suddenly.
ほらあそこ私がよく行く画材屋さんシュウ君もいつか使うかも
Okay. Is this a CG? It's like, this is too zoomed in for it to not be, but like, it looks too generic to be a CG, right? Supplies I get in class are enough for me. You just meant outside of the atelier. For a moment, I thought she meant outside the Aurora. Why would you think that? But of course not. She meant on a short trip to the shopping district. We've never done anything like this before. When we repeatedly live through the exact same series of days over and over again, it really ramps up your anxiety when something unusual happens. It's a unique feeling only Anna could understand. And you.
なんか甘いもの食べたくなってきたかも
I glance over at her. Me too.
何か食べよっか
I smile happily. I've spent so much time with her in the atelier, but we haven't really gone into town together. Yuni loves these donuts in the district, and I know where they are since I go with her sometimes. There's also crepes.
じゃあシュウ君がまだ食べたことないものがいいかな
Kotoha begins searching around the area before finally finding what she's looking for.
あれはどうカンノーロ
Cannoli? Damn, it's been a while since I've heard that. I've never had it, but the first time I've heard about cannoli was from a fucking Curious George episode. What's that? It's a name I'm unfamiliar with.
あれ知らないこうコロネみたいにクリームを包んでる焼き菓子なんだけど
Oh, this place. I always wondered where that delicious smell came from. I mean, like, I shouldn't say it because it is very much not like this. But I was about to say it's like a fancy Twinkie. But no, it is not. I understand as soon as I see the store, although the word cannoli doesn't ring the bell, still doesn't ring any bells.
とするとカンノールはもしかして外にないのかな
I don't know. At the very least, I've never heard of them. Listen, Kotoha, I think you should just assume that anything in the Aurora, also existed in the outside world. It's difficult for me to say whether I simply forgot or never knew about them to begin with. Leaving that aside for now, the cannoli Kotoha treats me to is amazingly delicious, and I quickly devour it. Cannolis are so good.
気に入ってもらえたならよかった
Okay. Afterward, we end up at the art gallery. Yeah, so that was a CG. It's just, like I said, it felt a bit too generic. right? Like, if it was an actual CG, at least they should have shown the cannoli, right? The facility remains open, even while school is closed for the weekend. It makes me feel like we're on some kind of museum date. Well, you're the one who called it a date, so do they ever swap out the artwork displayed here?
基本しないね。いつも空いているという話は前にしたと思うけど。
That implies that they have artwork to replace it with. Like, I thought this whole museum was just was meant to be a timeline of artworks that are displayed from that have been displayed from the start of the first person who ever put paint to an easel all the way up to the 1900s before the war, something like that.
ただ、生徒の作品が新しく展示されることはあるよ。
Speaking of which, isn't Guido's sculpture on display?
そうそう、私のも。ほら。
Huh? Kota points in the direction of a watercolor painting of Oneto Lake.
私が1年生の頃に描いたやつだね。初めての文化祭で出して以来、ここに飾られている。
Damn. She's only really made one good painting, and it was in her first year, and after that she fell off hard. And she's been trying to recapture this, the magic since then. It's amazing. I can't believe you painted that.
ここには立派な作品しか置かれていないから、尻込みしちゃうけどね。
What are you talking about? I might be an amateur when it comes to appreciating and making art, but even I can tell how incredible her paintings are. There's a powerful expression in her work that goes beyond a mere replication, no matter how faithful. And of course, to stand alongside other equally powerful paintings and works of art from all throughout history is a great honor.
風景画というジャンルは、ただ目の前のものを描き写すだけじゃ足らない。
Yeah, but like, being able to display your work of art right next to, like, Da Vinci's or like Michelangelo's would give you like mad imposter syndrome, though, right? Because in your mind, you would never be able to live up to their standards or something, to their quality or whatever.
その場の空気だったり、肌寒さだったり、見えないものも絵で表現する必要がある。
If all you want is to copy, then take a photo.
そういう意味で、今回私が描こうとしている外は、本当に何もかも見えないものだ。すべてを想像に頼る必要がある。でもね。
You know what? I should have realized that as soon as I should have realized that the text was still scrolling while she stopped talking. What the fuck?
そういう意味で、今回私が描こうとしている外は、本当に何もかも見えないものだ。すべてを想像に頼る必要がある。でもね。
I don't know why I replayed it. I only replay voices that are overlapped, right? Yeah, it can still be considered a landscape painting. She says before pointing to a nearby painting. What's this?
芝の女王の船出、クロード・ロランという画家の絵だ。ロランは17世紀の人で、これは旧約聖書のワンシーンを描いたもの。だから宗教画とも言えるんだけど、景色を鮮やかに表現した風景画でもある。たとえその光景を実際に見たことがなくたって、人はこんなに素晴らしい作品が描けるんだ。リリー先生によれば、 当時はあまり風景画というジャンルが重視されていなかったから、そういうテーマがどうしても必要だったらしいんだけどね。
This isn't something that comes from life. The painting exudes so much emotion that it seems to almost transcend reality.
私は小さい頃から気づいたら風景の絵が好きで、このギャラリーにあるいろんな絵を見て想像を膨らませたものだったよ。
Imagining what people were like back then, when, way back when and stuff like that.
そうそう。何百年って前にそういう景色があったんだなって思うと、なんだかワクワクしちゃって。
What's this?
それはターナーの作品。今さっき話したロランの影響を受けた画家だよ。とても特徴的な水彩画で彩り豊かなのがわかると思う。
It's beautiful, but I can't tell what the subject matter is. Flames?
火事だね。確か国会議事堂っていう施設に起こった火事を描いたもの。
A fire in the Houses of Parliament. Those words seem out of place amid the backdrop of this town.
ターナーは特に目に見えない大気の表現に長けていた。だから災害であっても一枚の絵にしようとしたわけだね。
So this is based on a real-life incident? After that, I asked Koto-ha to show me all the paintings that influenced her own work. Although there are still many things I don't understand about art, seeing Koto-ha talk about it so excitedly inexplicably fills me with joy.
それじゃあ今日はありがとう。いい気分転換になったよ。
I had fun too. Sometimes it's nice to take a break from work. Koto-ha turns back toward the school. You're not heading home yet?
少しアトリエで片付けしてから帰るよ。
With that, she heads back toward the academy. She really is serious about her studies. I guess she needs a break. She needed a break. Even Koto-ha must be tired of being cooped up in the atelier every day. Might be a year older than me, but she's still young. Why'd you flash back to the... Did you flash back to it? Flash back to the CG, I guess, and then just cut away from it again. Even so, you didn't even say anything. I may be reading too much into it, but that really seemed like a date. Much needed break, repayment for my modeling work, or perhaps a decision made on a whim. Is this why she wasn't wearing her school uniform today? Endless thoughts play through my mind. Koto didn't seem to treat any of it like a big deal, so I'm sure I'm overthinking it. You were like, would any of the girls act differently in that situation? Whether it was a date or not, it doesn't change what I have to do. And yet, I can't help obsessing over every detail of our day together. $12.16.
Oi! Shu君
That's my name. I'm Shu. What?
知ってる。 ちょっとここを見てほしいんだけど。
Of course, right here. She wants my advice and I give it to her. This should be a casual exchange of ideas, but I can't help but feel on edge.
シュウ君、どうしたの？熱でもある？
Nopers. What? Excuse me?
疲れたなら休んでていいんだからね。これは私の制作だし。
There's nothing wrong. No problem at all. That's right. Kotaha's acting the same as usual as always, which is perfectly okay with me. Of course, I'm thrilled that I've become closer to her. Very much so, in fact, but I always figured she hung out with me from the very beginning due to curiosity. There's probably no other reason. Which begs the question, how do I feel about her? Ah, there it is! Time to save. Obviously, you have to go down the romance route first, right? So, I have feelings for Kotoha. And then the game breaks. 1712. 1738.
ねえねえシュウ、土曜日なんか琴葉さんと一緒に歩いてなかった？
No, I mean, yes, I mean... what? It's Monday, and I suddenly find myself at the target of a barrage of questions. Is a person, and she's indeed capable of walking.
もうそうじゃなくて、商店街二人で歩いてたでしょって。
What the fuck was that answer? She is indeed capable of walking. Sometimes, a lady is in need of art supplies.
なんか怪しいな。
Wherefore, prithee, wouldst thou distrust me? Fuck you. Fuck off, Shu.
露骨に怪しいな。こいつは匂うぜ。
Fuck you for making me read that shit. If I had told them it was a simple shopping trip, they would have accepted it and moved on. But I just had to get all shy and lie.
話は聞きました。その謎は徹底的に追求すべきです。
What? Sakuya?
さくや？
That's what I'm saying. Look at that. Class is starting. Time to leave.
ダメです。真相を突き止めるまで私は帰れません。先輩は本当に琴葉先輩と大デートされたのですか？
He wishes. Date is an awfully strong word. What we were on was more like a... Were we on a date or not? No matter what I say, I feel trapped.
私の調べによると、二人は土曜日、商店街を練り歩き屋台で観音炉を購入。その後ギャラリーまで向かったとのことですが。
Who the fuck is your source? You got the whole thing from You got the whole thing from beginning to end.
ことねえのやつ、私に断りもなくシュウを口説くなんて。
Does she need permission? Why does she need your permission? Not that she was hitting on me at all.
でもすごいよシュウ。琴葉さんって大人気なのに、やっぱ二人は仲がいいんだね。
Look, all I'm saying is bro is not beating the allegations. Alright? And the more he talks, he just digs a deeper hole each time. And not the one Kyrie digs. How do I get out of this mess? There's clearly been a misunderstanding that you started, yeah. Well, it happens sometimes. School is done for the day. With Kotoha busy shooting Koto ranges, I use my free time to take care of personal business, like sorting out your fucking feelings. That was the plan at least, until Director Kirie calls me in for a favor.
頼むちょい役でいいから出てくれ
I knew this would happen. Kirie finally came crying to me over her lack of actors, as I expected she might. Isn't Kotoha more than capable of playing every character herself?
いけることはいけるんだけどよ。どうしても二人を同じカメラに入れたいシーンなんだ。
Without access to high-tech equipment, sophisticated cut-and-paste effects are impossible. With CG being completely off the table, and since Kotoha has to play every role, it limits the number of characters that can be on screen at one time.
今回だけなんだ。このシーンが撮れねえと、私の制作が。
Fine.
来年の部品にも関わることで。ってあれ？いいのか？
Sure.
今まで嫌がってたのに、急にあっさり承諾したの。
It's definitely not because he gets to spend more time with Kotoha, alright? Knowing the only actor in Koto Rangers is Kotoha means she will be acting alongside me. I have no idea what kind of scene this is, but I'm more than happy to share the scene with her. Not to mention, I did promise Kirie I'd star in her movie again someday.
交渉は終わった？キリエ。おう、なんか快く引き受けてくれたぞ。よかったの？シュウ君。
Yep, probably.
一応、火薬は抑えめにするよう頼んでおくから。
Why am I not surprised there's an explosion scene? I can't help feeling uneasy about this, but getting to act alongside Kotoha is a dream come true. We've acted together so many times before, so why am I this nervous? Why am I this nervous about it? Yeah, you even acted. You even acted in a role where Kotoha was the main love interest, but that was in Kirie's route, so it doesn't matter. I want to get closer to her. That simple thought quickly fills my head, growing stronger by the second.
よーし、それじゃあまずは週3乗のシーンから行くぜ。
What character am I playing?
コトレンジャーの正体を知ってしまった同級生だ。
I see. And so the shoot progresses despite my lack of experience.